What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Windbreaker, this time with Season 2, Episode 4, I believe it is. To be honest with you guys, I can't remember too much of what happened last week. I think we wrapped up the whole Keel stuff, and we did get a preview to an interesting character with a bunch of tattoos, but other than that, it wasn't a very memorable episode in my opinion, so yeah, can't really remember too much what happened. I don't think it was of mass importance. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. I've been reading this far. I mean, we do get that very interesting visual in the opening with Sakura, don't we? Which I've questioned this whole time, considering everyone's approach to him being like so nice and warm. Yeah, they all just kind of disappear in the opening. Well, he answered initially. So, is that not just very normal? Come on, guys. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I assume fighting is there's a few like you probably catch a few cowards, a few people not wash their hands, a few people got blood in their hands, and they might punch you and hit you in the mouth, and then that blood's in your mouth and infects you. Like I'm not that type of guy that cares too much about stuff like that, but it's not the most cleanly thing to be doing, is it? Fighting in the dirt and blood and all that. So yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if these guys get ill every now and then. That's not something you do when you're in a gang like this and you're fighting. You're like, oh, I should probably go wash my hands afterwards. That's something I've pointed out in the show I literally just watched half an hour ago. Rock is a lady's modesty. Like they sweat a lot during their performances, and then they're just like back to normal afterwards. It's kind of like, well, you guys must stink. One of those anime things though, of like, yeah, but obviously not gonna go into any little details like that. So maybe they do wash their hands afterwards. Okay, it's not a big deal, but again, it wouldn't be too surprising if you caught a cold. As I said though, like the amount of these guys like worry about him is very strange that we see that scene in the opening, considering again just how nice everyone is to him and how much they've already helped him mentality wise and given him something to like care about. Are we going to see him go off the rails a little bit this season and just disregard everyone? We saw that a little bit in the last arc with Keel, where he kind of fought for himself first. Wow, I don't know about that. It looks like this place could be accompanied by some kind of ghost. Let's hope that ghost is not here. What even is that? What was that even meant to be? It didn't look like, it wasn't like the outline of a skeleton or anything, was it? It kind of just looked like a bunch of poo. Yeah, this place honestly does look like it could be haunted. And also, these guys are not doing the most smart thing here either. If he has got a cold, they're just like stepping in, just like getting close to him. Yeah, looks like he's just a little bit under the weather. And you know what? I don't really ever take anything if I get ill. You should just your body knows how to deal with this kind of stuff. I mean, there are certain serious situations where you would need drugs and stuff, but yeah, much more often than not, I don't really take any drugs for stuff like this. I just leave it to my body to get better. I usually do think water helps the most, stuff like this. Mm, yeah, I agree. Sleep, water, rest. I know they mean well, but I think it is better to be kind of left alone. Obviously, you like having someone care about you, but yes, I just kind of feel more comfortable being left alone like this as well. I had I think it was food poisoning. I'm not really sure what it was. It might have been salmonella. I'm not really sure, but I had that a few um maybe last year, and I was throwing up for days, and I really had no hunger for like 3 or 4 days either. And yeah, you don't really want too much going on around you when you feel like that. I remember specifically because I watched a really good movie. What was it called? Bone Tomahawk, I think it's called. Yeah, I watched a really good movie. That was that. I watched that movie during that time, and it makes it really memorable. Good movie, quite brutal. Yeah, we get it, bro. You got good intentions, but oh, here's the girl I've been looking forward to seeing. I think one with the red hair. That's nice to, to awaken to, though, isn't it? Oh, it's her. I had a feeling it might be a Santa like her when we heard her talk. I do want to see more of the red-haired girl though. She looks really cool in the open. Obviously, you don't really see too many women in gangs and situations like this, do you? So I've got to say, like with situations like this, it really is like I don't want to sound like obnoxious or anything, but it really is quite primitive, isn't it? In terms of like you get this kind of thing from many a kind of not shonen anime, but yeah, shonen like anime centered towards like young boys. Whereas this is a series with like a lot of violence and gangs and stuff, so it's like I mean it kind of fits the bill, but it's just like I would expect it to be a little bit more mature. I think that was something that really came through again last season with the fights at the theater. I feel like it just got again a little bit more kind of suited to younger people as that fight went on. The writing got a bit more primitive and just like yeah, yeah. So like you can get the things the show is trying to put across like this in like a minute or two rather than a few episodes. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to sound obnoxious or anything, but it's like I don't care an awful lot for this just because you've seen it like 100 times. And this isn't really doing anything majorly new with it. It's putting it in an interesting setting, which, like I said, is cool with there being these gangs and so on. But not massively engaging for me. Or perhaps it's because I don't relate to it a lot. I don't know. The guy looks a bit like me. But if I shaved, maybe same nose. So I didn't find anything too interesting in this fight in the first place. So us focusing on it more is obviously not what I want to see too much. But again, that's just my thoughts on this. Some people could really love the contents of this arc and want it to be explored even more. But like, I've already got the point. You know what I'm saying? I got the point a few episodes ago. in that regard, it's definitely been a bit slower than season one. Bit of a slower start, which was probably I can't speak, which is probably inevitable. I was gonna say, even the situation where he came to him, it's very much like a girl kind of like asking someone out. It's like, oh, can I talk to you after class? And then it's, oh, we go to the roof. So it's like you're asking, go on a date or something. Well, sometimes you are weak. Yeah, I was. Yeah, it's quite cat-like, isn't it? Oh, okay. Damn. Really had a whole episode of this. I was hoping we'd carry on with the preview of last episode ended. The tattooed guy seemed pretty promising, but we're still focusing on this. That was quite a rousing speech. surprised they didn't. I suppose they didn't just laugh our way through, to be honest. If you heard anyone say shit like that, I definitely would be. Good punch. Yeah, and then you realise what you just done. That was pretty good. Again, just something you've heard 100 times. So yeah, again, maybe there's probably people that haven't heard that 100 times that do appreciate it, and maybe they think that's done well here. And fair enough to you guys, but like I said, I've just seen it so much in anime and cartoons, a lot of things. It's just like kind of lost its effect. Now it's just like generic main characters, power friendship stuff, if you know what I'm saying. And it's like this didn't really push anything further. It's just kind of hammered home the points that have already been made. I've already seen as the powerful thing. Like it's just basically. Sorry to, I won't put someone out of timer, but it's more so that it's like we've seen this. Again, it's not really added anything. It's more so just like verbalizing what we've already seen in season 1 and already in this second part. Like it's just like it's outwardly saying that it's literally spelling out for us. Whereas again, it's like the power of cinema and the power of TV and movies is that we see things, we see stories told. I mean, you can tell stories verbally as well, and dialogue is very important, don't get me wrong, but having a whole episode explaining what we've already come to know and see is, in my opinion, not very interesting. Because again, we've already seen it. We've literally seen it happen. So, and it's not really something that's awfully complicated to explain either. They could have got this point across in a couple minutes verbally, and they already did visually in even less time. So yeah, again, that's just my opinion. It's probably a lot of people out there that really like this, but it just kind of chimes into the things I didn't like about the first season. With the final fights of the abandoned cinema. An upperclassman's lesson. So did he want to tell him the same or a similar thing, I imagine? Okay. Again, like scenes like that, they don't have to say too much. They literally got that point across that he already told him something similar like that, which he then passed on to Sakura within seconds. So yeah, really, again, just a slow start for this season so far. I think the first episode was quite good. Second episode was decent as well. But yeah, from episode 2, I would say it's been quite a slow season so far. And I find it interesting that we had that preview last week and we didn't expand upon that at all this week. So why was that shown then? What was that in the preview for last week? I know I always say this, but it's one of those things where you can tell like the artist and the author of this is much more an artist than a storyteller, and rightly so, because you get into being a mangaka and and all that kind of stuff because you're an artist. Like, I doubt many mangakas or people that get into that industry start out as storytellers and then draw art for their stories. They much more often, I imagine, start out with good art and things they want to draw, and then they've kind of got to become storytellers with that, because you need a story for a manga. So I think we see that here in terms of, again, the quite primitive themes and stories told with the characters. Again, it's just things like a bit regurgitated, which you've already kind of seen and heard before. It was done all right here. Again, it wasn't any like fresh spin on it or anything. It was done well. There wasn't anything like majorly egregious about it, so you can't say it was bad, but it's just like not awfully interesting for me anyway. I think I summed it up during that little 2-minute segment near the end anyway. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, not an awfully impressive episode, following on from last week's not awfully impressive episode as well. So hopefully next week can liven things up a little bit. Let me know what you guys think about this one though down in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy somehow, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with any of these reactions, and I will see you guys with episode 5.